This is my follow-up review of the Hoover Windtunnel bagless vacuum cleaner, UH70120. Today we're going to show you how you clean out the chamber. Because you see the chamber here is pretty full right now. I'll give you a better view of it right there with all that wadded up hair and dirt, and it starts losing suction when it gets this full. So we need to make sure that we don't let it get this bad. And that's what this airflow indicator is for on the top here. You see it's green now, but when you turn it on, it'll turn to red, indicating that this chamber is way too full to use. You start losing suction, especially with your tool accessories, when it starts getting red like this, but you still have some suction on the floor, so I'm going to show you that right now. So now we're going to show you how to empty out the chamber into a trash can here. We'll do this over my freshly vacuumed carpet to show how much faith I have in this process, because this shouldn't make a mess to do this. You see there's a hinge here, and when you press the trigger on the top of the canister, it tilts off of the vacuum cleaner from this hinge. And be careful when you do this, because you see the intake here has some fiber and dust and stuff hanging out of it already, and you don't want this getting on your floor. That's the first thing that's going to want to fall out and land on the floor when you pop the top on this. And you can see it's crammed in there pretty tight. I'm going to try to remove it. I don't think it's going to come out in the normal way, so I'm going to pluck some of this out right now, which means I'm already getting my hands dirty over this. See, that's one part where I'd like to see better control over this. So if I press this button right here, it releases the bottom. And in situations where you're just doing light vacuuming around the house, it may be sufficient to pull the bottom off to get this chamber emptied. But what we have here is a little more extreme. Filling it that full, it's not just going to shake out like I'd like it to. And it's starting to dust up the air a little bit now. And there's that chute with fiber still coming out of it. We'll grab a little bit more of that and try to tuck the rest back in. I guess it's my fault for letting it get to this extreme of fullness, but if you want to demonstrate something, you should demonstrate it to the fullest, shouldn't you? You see how tightly that's packed in there, and taking up the bottom isn't necessarily going to get you much dirt out of your vacuum. When you look at the top, there's a substantial amount of dust inside that chamber that you can clean up as well while you're doing this. I hope you appreciate me getting dirty for you on YouTube. You can tell your wife you're watching a dirty YouTube video. And she'll say whatever it takes to get you to use the vacuum cleaner in the house. Here's the maintenance guide. There's instructions for removing and cleaning out the filter, the dirt cup, and then you can rinse that with water. And we're doing the clean as needed part, which is just to twist the filter assembly counterclockwise and remove the cleaning dirt and debris from the filter assembly. So even though I'm still kind of bothered with this process with stuff still coming out of the chute here, let's open up this top now and see how this works for emptying out this chamber. So there are little notches on the sides that line up, and then with the twist they lock on or lock off. So you have the lid open, you give it a little twist, and it'll come free. Now make sure you've got a good hold on it, and be careful how you open this and where you open this. So it's behaving itself reasonably well right now, and some of it is going to come falling right off, but a lot of this is not going to come off. It's just all woven together, and it's made like an O-ring or washer around the filter assembly. And of course, while you're doing this, you don't have anything else in your other hand other than the chamber itself, which does not make a very good tool for removing the dust and dirt from the filter assembly. So I have a feeling I'm still going to end up having to handle this and get my hands dirty. But the chamber cover itself can wash in any kind of water in the washing machine. And now I'm going to have to put it on the floor to free up my hand so that I can get the rest of this dirt off. So now the whole ring of hair has come out. There's a little piece that's still in there somewhere though. It doesn't look like it's supposed to be in that area. But in the center of the chamber there, you can see there's this part that's stuck here. And there's another piece that's on the other side of the plastic that I just can't get to. So I'm hoping that when I turn it on, it'll blow through and go into the chamber. So now there's still some little crumbs and bits of fiber hanging off the holes of the filter assembly, and again, they might blow off into the chamber, but they bug me right now, so I'm going to try to get them cleaned off as much as I can. So here I am dusting it off now and getting it ready to put the top back on. Now this whole assembly can be taken apart and cleaned with water. The filter can be cleaned with water too. I'll maybe do that in a different video. But this is just your basic monthly cleaning for general use purposes. So that's the cleaned off assembly. And again, this could all be done a lot cleaner, I think. I mean, I shouldn't have had to handle all this dusty material to get this cleaned off. If I was doing a more thorough cleaning, I guess it wouldn't matter as much. But the plastic is machine washable, the filter is washable, and you can get pretty far just by emptying it this way to keep the thing going. But it does recommend you clean the filter once every 3 months or so. So now we'll reattach the filter to the container and put that back on the vacuum cleaner. But if you'd like to see me do a complete cleaning of this, give me a comment down below. So to put the top back on, you need to line up these tabs. You've got different size tabs. There's a small tab there, and they only made up this one way to make sure that you got the plastic top on correctly. And when you twist it, it locks in place and it's ready to put back on the vacuum cleaner. See, the tube still has some dirt in it, so you want to clean that up too as you go before you put this top back on. And actually, this has got some dust on it that I don't like, so I'm going to use the tool attachment brush and clean this off because I don't like dirt in there. And then put that back on the vacuum. And you make sure that that rubber is clean there, you'll get a better seal. You don't want it to get too much powder on it and it'll blow all over the place when you turn it on the first time. So make sure you dust these off so you get a better seal. And then snap it into place. And now let's test it right now on the mess that we made. Trying to empty out this chamber. Set the camera so you can see where this, look at all this mess I've made. I really didn't like having this much mess made. But I happen to have a vacuum cleaner handy, so as I pull out the cord for the power, as I said in the last video. So that's all there is to it. The basic emptying and maintenance of your Hoover Windtunnel chamber works pretty good. Still has good floor suction even when it's as packed as you saw it. And we're still happy with it. However, you may still have some questions or doubts about this, so be sure to leave a comment below and interact with us and give us some more ideas of what we maybe haven't covered for you and other things that would be of interest to people like me who make great places to stay. All you great property management companies and real estate investors out there making it possible for any average Joe to bypass the banks and live the American dream. So please subscribe and hit that bell and stay notified of all my future videos because we're just getting started here.